Be'ezus Hashem, we're going to be starting a brand new topic. I wanted to ask the Olam. I don't know if you guys grew up in a nice Hasidic shtibel where you used to walk into shul as a little kid, Shleimela, and some older Yid used to come over to you and say, "Oi, oi." Oh, right, we've got PTSD. We have some memories. You have memories of these things? That's why we're here.
Rabbi, I heard about PTSD all the time.
Yeah, it just came out a little bit. Yeah. And the shaila is, next time you see someone doing that on Shabbos Kodesh, it could be we have to make a machor, and we have to say Shabbos. What's the point? He's going to look at you like, what? What did I do wrong? Alice, okay, we're not going to get into that now. But I'll go upon him. What's the shaila? Rabbi said a very interesting malacha that I don't believe we have discussed here for a number of years. And that is the malacha. And if they ask you, oh, what are you guys learning now in yeshiva? So you could tell them, we're learning about killing. That's what we're learning about. We're learning about killing. And they'll say, what type of yeshiva teaches you about killing? So we're going to be learning about the malacha of killing on Shabbos Kodesh, which is, we have to do demonstrations. Yeah. I remember when I was in Koilel and we were learning Shabbos, and it was just amazing, the Hashkacha Pratis, that we noticed that every malacha that we were learning, when we learned Boira, all of a sudden some crazy Boira shaila like came up. When we learned Bishul and Hatmona, some crazy crockpot situation happened on Shabbos. It was almost like the Rabbi Nishon was testing us. Okay, you're learning the halachas. No, let's see if you can practicalize it, right? It's not a word, I just made it up. Is it? It's not a word, right? Practicalize it? It's not we made it up. It's now a word. Okay, it's a word. Can you make it practical, Amaisa? So I remember as we were going to start the Melach of Shechita, we're like, what's the Rabbeinu Shalom going to test us when we learn the Melach of Shechita? By the way, people don't realize how Negeya, the Melacha of Shechita, is almost every Shabbos. It could be Negeya. Okay, let's understand. First, let's go as we always do, is we understand the Melacha where it comes from in the Mishkan. Maybe a little bit of the Hagdorah's Malach of the Olam, want a bit of Lomdus. Maybe we'll touch upon a bit of Lomdus. I know it's early in the morning, but maybe we can get away with one Lomdus shtickle, right, Shimon? Maybe Evsha. So like this, so we say. The Mishnah told us in Shabbos Ayin Gimel, the Mishnah says that in order to make the covers of the Mishkan, they had to be able to kill the animal in order to do the next part of the process, which is to skin the animal, to use the skin, which ultimately was preserved, which is ma'abed, which is, all the processing and things that we've discussed in different times. Goizes, we discussed already. Moichek, right? Whatever. Mamachik. Akoponim. The whole process comes from the skinning of the animal. To have the skin of the animal, you have to go along and kill the animal. So killing the animal was one of the malachas that was done in the Mishkan, which means Shechita, which is the Av malacha, is considered to be one of the malachas of Shabbos Kodesh. The Av is Shoichet, and Hachoivel, which is to wound, which we'll get to as well, very practical nafkaminas halacha lemaisa, is going to be the tolda. Both of them, of course, are obviously going to be a da'oraisa, right? Because you've got the av and the tolda. One is actual killing, one is causing to bleed. Either of them could be a da'oraisa, depending, of course, on the situation and various other things that come in. Now, any alive being, whether it be human or animal, is included in the malacha. It doesn't make a difference how big or small the animal. That means you're chayiv, except the kavachayim maybe, which goes to olam d'shchakir, which we're not going to go into. But generally, there's no nafkamin if you kill an elephant or you kill an ant. Both of them are the issa of shoichet, of shechita on Shabbos Kodesh. Shechita does not necessarily mean how we shecht and a kosher animal in order to eat it, but it means any type of killing. Now, one thing that's important to know, of course, we know every malacha is this way, is that in order for it to be a da'oraisa on the highest level, it has to be used. That means when I'm killing the animal, I want to use the animal, which was how it was done in the Mishkan. What did they do in the Mishkan? They killed the animal to do what with it? To use the skin, and often many other things as well. But for sure the skin, that means they killed it to use it. It was a usage, right? It's called a melacha shetzricha legufa. But the moment you don't need the animal that you're killing, like for example the shaila, where we're going to discuss, if you're walking tully on the street and you see a swarm of ants, are you allowed to just continue walking? Or do you have to go around? What's the halacha in such a case? Or for example, if you've got in the sink, you've got some bugs over there, and I want to wash my hands. I want to wash negelvasser until it's sedayim, and there's an ant or there's a fly there. By switching on the water, what's that going to do? Flushing the toilet, right? Washing lettuce. All of these shilas could be a shila. We'll get to it of killing, which would be a daraisa or darabonon. What would it be? Why?
Because I don't want to use the animal.
I don't want to use the animal. So that's a malacha she'ein tzricha l'guf. It's not a regular drabon, it's a mulchama drabon, prima godim, aruch hashulchan. We're not going to go now into all the ma'amar koimas. Very good. Shemis is a beautiful vote. The fire is still hot. The drabonon fire is still very, very hot. Misgerecht. Moyedik. So Al Kaponim, if you need the animal, moyedik. If you don't need the animal, Shem Yirachim. So that's the din, okay? Both of them would be asa, right? Now, manaf kamina, like Shimon said, they're a fall. The fire over there is hot. Manaf kamina, said right? Similar to gufa. But of course, when Mashiach comes, there's a big naf kamina because you guys have a notepad to write. Not you guys, of course, but people that do aveiros, they have a notepad to know how many. They have to know. Mashiach is coming in Mitzvah very, very soon. We're waiting, mamish. We're going to hear it. And it's going to be moedik. The Bai Shlishi is coming down. It's going to be moedik, right? But then, as soon as it does, we're going to have to start bringing a korban chatos. I'm assuming the olim has a count of where they're holding of how many animals. If you want to make a lot of money, by the way, that's what you need to do. Go into animal selling. Mashiach is going to come, you guys will be wealthy. I'm giving you a tip over here that you never heard before. You heard it here first, Rabbi say. Go into animal selling, you'll make a killing on people bringing korban chatos. It's going to be unbelievable, right? And of course, plastic cars. Plastic cars. Buy a plastic car. Because that's the only thing that's not makabel tumah. They're never going to be tumah v'tara, and therefore, all right, maybe we should give a share on Inyone, what's going to happen b'shas HaMashiach, what we should be makbid on or not, just so we should be ready. Al kol ponim, moving on a bissel. The Minchas Chinuch has the following shaila. What if I do something that does not kill the animal immediately, but it will die? Right? One of the most common examples is using a spray. Sometimes you could spray a spider or spray whatever it is, something, whatever that you're trying to kill. It doesn't die straight away. You could see it dies a horrible, slow death. Which is, again, I'm not going into Tzabah L'chaim. Maybe you're not allowed to do that even during the week. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, on Shabbos, the Minchas Chinuch says the Shaila is that called killing because mice is like a groma. Right? I'm spraying. It's going through nebuch pain. And then it's going to die later. So that's not really, kind of, maybe. It's like a groma, right? The Minchas Chinuch says, Avad Yachayev for that. Avad Yachayev. It's almost like, although he doesn't discuss that in detail, when you cook on Shabbos Kodesh and you put a chicken soup or a cholent or whatever it is on the fire, it's not cooked right now. It's going to be cooked, right? But you chayev immediately right now. Although that's a machlokes. Okay, but let's not go into bishul. Al Kaponim. Let's move on. One last thing. Shemi, we can do a bit of lomdos. One tiny thing. Okay. What if you kill a treifa animal? The animal is treif, which means api the Gemara, treif, I don't mean treif meaning not kosher, treif meaning, well, it was also, but treif meaning that it's going to die within 12 months, right? Whatever. So, are you chayiv for killing a treif animal? On Shabbos Kodesh.
Second of life, Rebbe.
Yesh koidoi lamoy b'sha'achas, Rebbe boicha. Moyedik. What? Huh? Again? What use for? I have a use for it. Am I chayiv for killing a treifa animal? Rabbi say. What do you say, Ben? It's a good child, no? It's going to die anyway. What did I do? That the Gemara talks about, for example, if somebody throws a kli off a building, Baron Baba Kama, right? Someone throws the kli off a building, and somebody else goes, as it's coming down, before it hits the floor, boom! You smash it down. So you broke the kli. Say that, but if I wouldn't have done that, it would have broken anyway. So who's chayiv, me or the guy who threw it?
It's a machlokes.
Akapadim, am I chayiv when I kill a treifa animal or not? That's the shaila. Okay? So, that's true. It's about Shabbos Kodesh, so that's what we mean. That's beautiful. We don't care if it's treifa because it's about Shabbos. Wow, very nice, very nice. So, the Minchas Chinuch says you're not chayiv for killing a treifa. The Prima Godim was mechavan to Shloima that says avadi chayiv. What's the svaris hamachloikes? No, Rabbi say, speak like a London. You ever had that in shit before? No, say better. Speak like a London. No one ever heard that before? You guys went to the wrong yeshivas. No.
I heard it.
You heard it? No, Rabbi say, what do you say? What's the Yitz? What's the machlokes? What's the svaris hamachloikes over here between the Minchas Chinuch and the Prima Godim? A bissel lomdas. Come on. I know it's early, but let's go. So obviously the pshat is that the Prima Godim obviously holds that at the end of the day, the whole din of Shechita is a maaseh in the guf habehema. Did I do a maisa? In other words, there's a neshama in there that is stopping me from eating or using the animal. By killing the animal, I've taken away the neshama that is stopping me from using it. Boom, I did a maisa. Begufa behemoth. The primigotim. Holds avada, I'm going to be chayiv. Zog the minchas chinuch, no. The tilas neshama. It's not a real neshama. It's not a complete neshama. Maybe it's minchas chinuch. That's the reason why you're not chayiv. Too much long this. Let's go weiter. Halacha lemaisa, Rabbi Say. Let's get halacha lemaisa. Taking an animal and killing the animal. Let's talk about a few practical examples. Tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem, we'll move on. So, for example, taking a fish out of the water, whether you have we're not going into muktzah right now. Hilchos muktzah, you guys are learning for Seder. I'm sure you already know the halachas of what din does a fish have on Shabbos Kodesh, whether it's an alive fish, whether it's a non-alive fish, aka sushi, whatever. I'm not going now into the sugya of muktzah. Everybody has to learn muktzah for Seder. But I'll go upon him taking out the fish, right, Rafal, taking out a fish from an aquarium without muktzah, would be a shaila of number one. Hello? Is anybody there?
Yeah, Shechita.
Oh, shkoyach. Shechita and?
Byron.
Well, that's nice. That's very nice. Anyone? I'm sure someone said it, I just didn't pick it up. Yeah, Shechita, someone said that. Hello? What was that? When I skin it, no, when I take it out. Hello? What about building a raft? Come on.
That was the first one.
That was Prussian.
You didn't have to say that.
Who said, what did he say?
You're making it eatable.
Everything's nine, lads.
Oh, wait, it's not that time, no?
Sod. Everyone say that. You're trapping an animal. You take it out there. I think it's no longer in its natural inhabitants. So everyone say that. The Gemara says that. Al Kapanim, taking a fish out of the water could be a problem. No, but that's what the Gemara says. Everyone say that. You've trapped the animal. No longer can it move anymore. What do you mean? Of course. Once it's dead already. Can you be over two malachas together? I don't know. Anyway, Ben, you with me?
From the aquarium?
From the aquarium, yeah. Yeah, of course. Why not? Because now you've made it into a more confined space, meaning your hand, or it depends. If you take it from a big aquarium to a smaller one, the Gemara in the beginning of, whatever. Moving on. If you have a bug, you have mosquitoes, right? We have to understand the Rabbi Nisham created mosquitoes for a purpose in the world. We're still trying to figure out what they are, but the mice of the Rabbi Nisham created mosquitoes for a beautiful purpose. The shaila is if it's bothering me on Shabbos. Now, do not come along with that heta that it's bothering me on Shabbos, therefore I can do whatever I want. They asked Reb Shlomo Zalman, and we are not addressing the shaila. But they asked Reb Shlomo Zalman, are you allowed to kill a mosquito on Yom Tov? And he said, what's the shaila? So Reb Shlomo Zalman said, they asked Reb Shlomo Zalman, what do you mean? Shechita is mutu on Yom Tov. Right? You're allowed to shecht an animal if you need to eat steak on Yom Tov afternoon. You're allowed to shecht an animal. There's no problem, Shimon, to shecht an animal to have fresh meat. Avada. So if you're allowed to shecht, the Gemara tells us, metoich shehutra, which not, again, I don't want to go too much into detail, but since it was mutar for a l'tzoyrech, they allowed it also shaloi l'tzoyrech. Meaning, even if I'm not doing it for eating shabai, it should be mutar. So also Shlomo Zalman, no, so I should be allowed to kill a mosquito on Yom Tov. Just because of the metoich. It's a good kasha, no?
Yeah.
It's a good kasha.
I killed her this week.
Have you heard of medium rare mosquito before?
Medium rare?
Mosquito.
It's a good shaila. Medium rare mosquito. No, never heard of that. Maisi says it's osa.
The Chinese have.
Lemaisi, Reb Zalman Paskin that it's osa. But it's a gewaldige kasha. Al Kaponim, taking your hand and waving it around to get this fly out of your way on Shabbos is not going to kill it. Be careful because of muktzah, because obviously Ubalechayim are muktzah on Shabbos Kodesh. So waving it is okay. But to take, for example, your sweater or to take a magazine and start smashing it, is obviously you're going to be killing it. And of course that's your kavanah. So that would be a problem in that case. Using a fly swatter is anyway muktzah, right? It's muktzah. Why is a fly swatter muktzah? Because that's what it does. It kills animals. It's a shechita machine. That's what it is. It's a shechita machine. That's what it does. So it's muktzah, but it's a kli shemalach tel issa, which means that so gufa will be mutter. Which means if I just want to wave away the animal without killing it, it will be mutter to pick up a fly squatter and softly go around just to make sure it's out of my face. Yes?
How about those electric thingies?
That I put in before Shabbos, you mean? That'd be fine. To put on a trap, good kasha, master kasha. Are you allowed to set a trap on Shabbos. Meaning, you have rats or animals, whatever, so I'm allowed to open up a trap to allow the animal to fall into the trap. Shabbos Kodesh, the Magen Avraham Paskins, it's asa, even though it's interesting because by opening the trap I didn't do anything. I just opened the trap and it goes in by itself. But that's already considered to be a grama, and gramas are asa in essence a Shas Adchak situation. But of course, before Shabbos, you're allowed to set a trap using a fly spray, okay, to kill fly, even if you're not going to spray the fly itself, but you're sort of just going to randomly go in the air and do that you can't do on Shabbos Kodesh. That would be a problem. Insects in the sink. When you open the sink, right, you have to be careful that there are no insects and bugs in the sink that are going to almost immediately die when you open up the tap, the faucet, or whatever it's called, the negov asona telisadayim cup. All the flies, all the bugs are going to go down. That's Isser of Shechita. There's no shaila that it's going to die, right? Somebody asked the shaila, what happens if, for example, in the toilet bowl, right? We'll mention it in the base medrash. If, for example, in the toilet bowl there is there's a bug over there, and somebody needs the bathroom, okay? And they need to press the button in order that everything should go down, including the fly. Cover their brias. They want to go to the bathroom in a normal way. So the poskim say about it, that's going to be mutter, right? Because it's a malacha she'ein tzricha legufa, and it's covered our brias. It's not mamish the derech, it's also a stickle groma because I'm pressing the button, the water's coming out, that's causing it to go down. So if we covered our brias, we could probably be a bit more makel, and we could allow a person to do as a paskin ravosna in the Shevet Halevi, that a person can be makel in such a case. If a person knows that he has bugs in the lettuce, now there are certain types of lettuce that are muchzik b'tolayim, we've spoken about it by Tu B'Shvat, I don't remember. Be very careful to wash such lettuce if you know that there are bugs. Of course, if you don't know, it's a suffix, so again, there's a mocker to be makel. But if you know that there are bugs, of course, if you see them, then of course to wash them in that way would be a problem in a situation. Walking on the street, we mentioned that shaila, you do not have to worry when you walk on the street that you will kill, and you probably will, right? The Maram talks about the shaila of what's called the psikration and sheches. Right? Psikration, everybody knows, means what? When you take an animal and you cut off the head. Right? Even though be'etzim it's a shaila, they ask a kasha, of course they know that, so I knew it's going to happen, it's like I'm almost killing the animal. But a psikration means that it's vade going to happen. So they ask the kasha, what happens if it's not going to happen in one time? It's going to happen over time. For example, when you comb your hair, each stroke that you comb doesn't necessarily take out hair. But if you do a whole meister of combing your hair, over the minute or whatever it is of combing your hair, there's going to be a hair pulled out. Is that considered to be a psikration? That's what we consider to be a psikration. That means even though one act alone is not a psikresha, but over the whole maisa, we look at the overall picture, it would be a psikresha. Are you with me? Therefore, the poskim say, even though that's true, to walk on the street, you do not have to be makpid and worry that maybe there are bugs there, maybe I'm killing it with my feet. Also, I don't know about it, I don't need it, whatever, a whole ganze shtickle why it should be mutter. But unless you see a whole swarm, you're walking on the street and you might see a swarm of animals over there, so there, even though it's a shayla in the Gemara, if a person amal samayim, you jump over, you go around, if you're allowed to be marba betircha by going around. But over here, the case over here, when you know that you're going to be killing an animal for sure by stepping on it, then of course a person should try to avoid that by not stepping on them. And Mitzvah Shem, tomorrow we're going to try to go through the sugya when it is mutter to kill. Have a wonderful day.